amongst many other things. Let's take you right now to the Finance Ministry, where my colleague Michael is stationed. Michael, walk us through exactly what we've been hearing from the Finance Minister and these major reforms as have been announced.
All right, Marina, so as you heard in the press conference from the Finance Minister, he has announced that Cocoa Board has been directed to review prices of to begin to pay farmers that were owed over the last period since the issue came up on its inability to speak to pay the farmers. But we are going to speak to some of the reps from the Cocoa Farmers Association. Chief, please come this way for me. How are you, sir? Please tell us your designation.
I'm Nana Kosio for Central Regional Chief Farmer of the Ghana Cocoa Coffee Share North Farmers Association.
Okay, so you've just heard the Finance Minister make some definitive statements with regards to cocoa. He has instructed Cocoa Board to pay you, and then the review of the price downwards. What do you make of these?
Well, it is rather unfortunate. Let me say that it's rather unfortunate, but my colleague farmers, my brothers and sisters, we should bear with the government, because that is the situation on the ground. If had it not been that, our cocoa will not be. We are producing cocoa, but it cannot be sold. So we should bear with the government, and the government has also taken a bold decision. Was at this time of the crisis that he's pushing us to this point. It's okay.
At least considering the fact that the cocoa price in Ghana is still higher than that of Cote d'Ivoire, it means that you are still better off.
Oh yes, we are still better off, because as it is, the smuggling. Have you seen that from the main crop? Everything is cool because of the price differential. So it's okay. But now, what I see is we are far ahead than Ivory Coast. We are far ahead than Ivory Coast. So the smuggling of our beans to that place will become a thing of the past.
Right. Now, at least you also heard that you'll be paid your monies that were owed you. I'm sure you're happy about that.
Oh yes, because we have our brothers and sisters, our sons and nephews, our daughters who are now going to school. So it will help us so that we prepare ourselves very well for them to go to school.
You heard the Finance Minister also speak about the fact that the produce buying company will be revamped to now take its place and take its central role of the leader in purchasing of cocoa in the country. How do you feel about this?
It's a very good idea, because PBC of late is the leading cocoa license buying, and company is the state owned. But because of one or two problems, PBC is now unoperational. But it's very good that the Finance Minister has said that Cocoa PBC will come back to its tools, and it will be the leading LBC in the country.
What happens to your already existing models?
Just a bit of a challenge with my colleague Michael Ogbodu, who's been interacting with some of the farmers who were present at that news conference. And so there's additional detail in terms of producer price per bag of cocoa as well, which was announced. And the Finance Minister sought to lay a foundation before arriving at that announcement that on the global stage, world market price for cocoa has plummeted. It's come down pretty drastically, and it was at a particular high when the producer price of 3,625 cedis was announced for the 2025-2026 crop year. But due to the drop in prices amongst many other things, that has had to be reduced to some 2,500 plus. And so the latest in terms of producer price per bag is hovering around 2,500 cedis, which is a reduction from the 3,625 which kick-started this particular crop season. Let's go to Nana Obuadia Boatin Bones, who is the president of the Cocoa Farmers Association of Ghana. We spoke to him this afternoon, asking of expectations ahead. Well, one of the many things perhaps we should be getting a bit more details is whether or not what will be paid farmers is the revised producer price per bag or the previous price per bag. But Nana Obuadia, thank you very much for joining us again. You've heard the finance minister, I believe. What are your immediate thoughts as to the announcement and also that payment is going to be made to you any moment from now?
Yeah, thank you very much. We know what the outcome is going to be, so then we're just waiting for the finance minister just to finish with his statement or his fresh statement. What is going to happen is the past cocoa that Cocoa Board has received, that one is 3,625. That one we are going to receive that money. That is the old price that we are going to receive. But the new price that he has mentioned, that is the 2,500, cocoa that has not been accepted by Cocoa Board as of now. So that is what is there now. So we are also engaging our farmers, educating them for them to know how come we have this price, and then we should accept it because it's business that we are doing. When the cocoa price shoots up, international market, it goes up. The same thing that is also reflect on us, and then we're also going to get a break, how do you call it, a price. So that is how the deal is. Because at the end of the day, Cocoa Board has understand that at the end of the day, it is business that we are doing with them. When the international market rise up, the dollar rise to some extent, we need to also get the high purchase as we are expected. So that is the deal that we had the meeting with the CEO of Cocoa Board when we met the last Friday.
And for you say you've already begun to speak to the farmers on the ground. Does this suggest you had an idea as to this announcement and a reduction in the producer price?
Yeah, well, that is why it is just, I think it's almost like, let's say, a minute or a three or whatever that this pronouncement just came. I am still on the phone in the central region that we are engaging the farmers for them also to understand the calculation and how we have this kind of figure, which is the new price that has come.
Right. What we've been hearing as well, the government's plan for the sector, PBC is now to purchase 50% of cocoa beans from the 2026-2027 crop season. The remainder of the beans for this particular crop season as well, we're expecting to be handed out to local producers. But Ms. Obuadia, I'll just have to ask you to hold the line for me and take us back to the finance ministry right now, where my colleague Michael Ogbodu is stationed and interacting with some persons who are present at that news conference. I'll finish with him and then I'll come back to you again shortly. But let's take you right now to the finance ministry again, where my colleague Michael Ogbodu is stationed. Mike, you were interacting with a number of these farmers?
It is driven by the forces of demand and supply. So the market might respond to what the demands and the supply are. So it always has to be seasonal. Nothing can be done about it. Like the minister already said, when the prices go up, the farmers will benefit accordingly. When it comes down, it goes up with it. They want actually now to remunerate the farmer accordingly, depending on the details of the market. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. So let's hear a rep from the licensed buyers.
I am the executive secretary.
Some more perspectives on the whole cocoa conversation. Well, as it appears from the farmers that we've spoken to, they are at least happy that they get to be paid their money, even though they are quite pinched by the fact that the prices they'll be getting now for their cocoa has dropped significantly from the over 3,600 cedis they were getting now. It's the finance minister just announced that the price has been cut to about 2,900 Ghana cedis per bag as part of restructuring the price of cocoa due to the significant plummet in the price of cocoa on the global front that sometime last year was at over 10,000 cedis, and as we speak is hovering around 4,000 or lower on the market, raising a lot of concerns. But at least some progress has been made. The finance minister has announced that going forward 50% of cocoa produced in the country will be processed, whilst the other 50, as he said, will be sold on the international market either at a spot price or at predetermined hedge prices. But for what the finance minister has made us understand also is the fact that the produce buying company will be revamped to take center stage in buying cocoa. The cocoa processing company also would be empowered to be able to process that about 50% of cocoa that will be produced in the country. He says this will create more jobs, increase Ghana's earnings from the cocoa, and basically boost the industry. We'll be following up and speaking to various industry players on what they make of all of this and how they feel and what the sentiments really on the grounds are on some of the issues that have been raised. He's spoken also extensively about a cocoa bond that will be released domestically to help finance the operations of cocoa. The question is the market ready? Because, you know, the impact of the DDEP has been severe. People are still quite skeptical about government financial instruments, considering the fact that theoretically government financial instruments are perceived to be safe. But post DDEP, a lot of people are skeptical. So the question is, will the public, the Ghanaian public, be interested and willing to stick a bet and buy government cocoa bills, considering what has happened? So those are critical things to be looking out for, and also to see and know when and what the timelines are really for the cocoa bill that has been submitted to Parliament. How soon would it be passed? How soon would it take effect? He mentioned in there that one of the major liabilities of Cocoa Board is the cocoa roads that it has been constructing, which has become a liability. He stated emphatically that in the law, Cocoa Board will be banned from going to the construction of roads. The Ministry of Roads will take care of that, and there will be sanctions should whoever the CEO of Cocoa Board is flouts such regulations. So all in all, quite optimistic outlook for the cocoa sector. We'll see how things pan out in the next couple of days. I am Michael Obodu, coming to you live from the Ministry of Finance.
Absolutely, Michael. Thank you very much. And Nana Boadi, I was coming to you. I appreciate you as well staying on the line for us. I was coming to you on the plan to have the PBC, Produce Buying Company, take up 50% of your raw beans, and the general outlook for you as farmers for the cocoa sector following this address by the Finance Minister.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. The modalities that is put in place, looking at what he said and the things that is going to happen, I think it is very nice in a way. But then engagement with the farmers will also be pleasant in a way, so that at the end of the day we will know. But there's another one thing too that we need to look at. The LBCs are people that they need to check them very well to know. There are people that they even buy the cocoa that they don't even have, how do you call it, offices and other things that they have the licenses that they operate, which that one also affects with the farmers in a way. So I think if that thing, they put it in place very well, it will be better. Now that PVC are going to be in charge, we are very happy for that, because for so many years, it was PVC that we know that they do buy the cocoa from us.
Right then, Nana Boadi, I appreciate you for joining us as well. Major announcements by the Finance Minister, which include, amongst many other things, a charge on the Attorney General to begin forensic audit and investigations into activities of Cocoa Board over the last 8 years. I suspect 2017 to 2024, that is coming under major scrutiny following what the government or the Finance Minister was addressing, worrying decisions taken during that period of time. This is not all you're going to be hearing about the latest from the Finance Minister, a bit more in terms of a breakdown and analysis for you if you stay with us here on TV3. You can immediately go onto our social media handles as well, where bits and pieces of this latest details as captured by the Finance Minister have been captured there, as well as on 3news.com to read for yourself. I am Mawina Egbeta. We're back at 7 p.m. with News 360 with a bit more for you here on these pressing matters. Stay with us.
Kindness is the language which the deaf can